You ever thought about why with our amerkkklan pharmaceutical prescription commercials, when they be selling y'all all of the man-made weapons of mass destruction? Y'all ever notice how they always say, first of all, they be like, ask your doctor if this is for you. Why the fuck I gotta ask my doctor? Ain't he the doctor? Shouldn't he know if it's for me? Tell your doctor if you have any pre-existing conditions such as, and then they rattle off a list of everything that everybody done ever had, okay? That's number two. Number one, why do I have to tell my doc, like I shouldn't take it if I have any of these, this laundry list of conditions that you just said he's my doctor. If I got all that shit, ain't that motherfucker one that diagnosed it? Why do I have to tell him, remember you said I had this condition, and they said if you have that condition, you probably shouldn't take this medication. Why do I have to do his job? We can't stop a medical professional for telling us how many years they went to school to do this, to make the money to do this, to kill us. I mean, to exercise a medical prowess. You remind us how much money you paid, how much you probably still owe from student loans, how long you went to school, flex your knowledge, your fucking title. But I gotta tell you about my pre-existing conditions, and you my doctor. Okay. So ask your doctor if this for you. But this is the point I was making. Ain't it interesting how on these man-made chemical marketing commercials, they always say, I noticed this since in the, I almost said the 8th grade, but I noticed this since the 80s. They'll say, and this was before the clandemic. So the clandemics, when we say there are multiple clandemics, there are multiple clandemics, bitch, right? So notice how they say, and I noticed this around 2017, even though they've always done it. Yeah. You ever notice how, and I used to always think this in the 80s, right? I used to think, why when they give you the laundry list of all the fatal side effects of this shit, why is one of the things they ask you to watch out for is if you do not eat grapefruit while taking this medication, or if you have eating grapefruit or whatever. What at the end of the day, they letting you know that grapefruit causes a negative interaction with these I hate to call them medications, with these prescriptions. Grapefruit. And at first you just think, okay, well, I need to stay away from grapefruit while eating this. But then you think, I need to stay away from one of the healthiest fruits on the planet while taking this that's supposed to be treating me. Of all the stuff that I need to stay away from while counting on this prescription, grapefruit is one of them. I need to stay away from it. And then I start paying attention to other stuff. They start naming other healthy shit. And I'm just saying this because this is something I noticed way back in the 80s. I was like, it's crazy how many prescription commercials say you need to stay away from grapefruit. Which is real interesting because in holistic medicine, you are referred to leafy greens and grapefruit like a motherfucker. But okay. So I've been paying attention to all them flags. And that particular flag incited the flag that made me go in 2017. I was telling Mister, I was like, whoa. I was like, do you notice that how they said, and this one particular commercial really made me draw attention. I had focused on it anyway every time I heard commercials. But this one commercial went as far as to say, and this was 2017, if you or anyone in your family or immediate household have been vaccinated or intend to ever be vaccinated, this is 2017, y'all. Do not take this medication if you Because I remember telling Mister, I was like, this shit is so deadly that you can't even live in a house with somebody that's been vaccinated. They really trying to kill us. Like, how deadly is a vaccination? If you can't use medications, if you've been vaccinated, or even if you even thinking about getting vaccinated, or if anybody in your motherfucking family has been vaccinated or is even thinking about it and considering being vaccinated, then you can't take this prescription. Well, bitch, that tells me that either your prescription or the vaccination or both, God forbid both together, is gonna fucking kill me. And you can think I'm paranoid if you want to. I'm gonna be paranoid to life. You gonna be not paranoid to death. All the way to death. And I don't have anything against you, but I need to know that that's you before I go all in with my love for you. Because if and when something happens to you, I need to not spend that emotional energy, not that much, because I'm gonna be hurt and my feelings gonna be hurt and I'm gonna be sad. But I want to at least have it in my back pocket that, well, you know, he was eager to be vaccinated. So it's not a shrug situation. It's just like, it's like with our family. We have seen people choose to die before they will try activating their natural goddess-given cannabinoids in their body. That's all I'm gonna say right there. Because I have quite the story. You know, one of the things I always wanted to see, you know, when I first heard about RSO, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to edit this video, because I know if I continue to mention and share any knowledge about it, I know what could possibly happen to this video, because it has happened more than a couple of times before, and I watched it actively happen a couple of times on Clubhouse even. So the plants are out here, as are the algorithms, and everything is programmed to stay on code. But anyway, I really would recommend every human body microdose. I don't recommend shrooms just because, first and foremost, be clear that I know literally nothing about using shrooms. I don't even eat them regularly in food, so I definitely don't know anything about their contribution to human wellness. I do know that I have not heard a bunch of bad experiences at all with that. So I take nothing from it, because I know how I was conditioned against how we all were conditioned against cannabis. So I take nothing from the possibilities there for certain people. But it doesn't sound like that I'm anything that I want to venture into. I just don't. It doesn't sound like me, and a lot of it is probably from my pre-colonization regarding cannabis. So I still have those ideals for shrooms, so to speak. So I'm scared of them. And even if I consider them doing what they are said to do, I think that is too much of an awakening too fast for humans who have been colonized to the capitalists and mentalities to which we have been colonized. I won't say safe, because it is safe. I do believe it can be safe, but I don't perceive it as completely safe. You know, people already struggle with waking up at a regular pace, you know, at a regular turtle's pace. And I believe a colonized mind can get too much. I believe their pineal can get too open too fast for their own spirit to handle. Their own human spirit to handle, if that makes any sense whatsoever. long story short, I don't do shrooms. I never have, and I wouldn't trust any supervision other than my husband or someone that we both trusted in trying it. But again, even still, as an indigo, I'm already too cognizant for the comfort of regular society. I can't imagine being even more woke. What would that be like? So I trust and embrace what cannabis brings me in terms of consciousness. Because at the end of the day, even with cannabis, you're choosing to do it yourself. You know, people like to present it as an escape, but it's quite the contrary. Cannabis actually, in my case, forces me to sit with those thoughts. It does give me some, as Kat would say, some fuck it, you know, with stuff that I cannot touch, that I have no control over. It does give me that fuck it, so that I'm not dealing with the depression and anxiety that might come with not having enough fuck it in your life, you know, enough fuck that shit that can come with not having enough fuck that shit in your life. You need some fuck that shit in your life, okay? And cannabis is a great source of that. But those things that you can affect, again, in my case, I'm speaking from my perspective, it forces me to sit with that and deal with it, however it is inevitable to turn out, the circumstances, or to acknowledge that I am accountable and I have full control over the resulting circumstances of whatever the scenario. Like, I could get up off my ass and do something about it so that it can end differently for me or whomever. I'm gonna say me because we're talking about our personal energies, our personal spirits, and protecting our own wellness. And at the end of it all, gratitude for the ability to do that. The gratitude for the goddess, or if you're male energy, God in you, to be able to do that, to be aware of your capacity to do something, and further to get up off your black ass and do it. And then give yourself credit for having done it, because you made the choice. And then you actively affected it. Actively. Let me go get another dose in me.